In 1916, prisoner exchange negotiations began with cautious optimism. Over 200,000 POWs awaited repatriation as diplomats met in neutral Switzerland. Initial talks focused on the Berne Agreement framework, proposing direct swaps of able-bodied soldiers. However, hidden clauses allowed nations to exclude critically wounded captives, a loophole that would later unravel negotiations. Historical records show only 15% of proposed exchanges reached implementation phase due to these early ambiguities. Intelligence intercepts exposed systematic unequal treatment. Coded liste noire documents revealed one side withheld 12,000 injured prisoners deemed non-viable. Medical reports confirmed deliberate malnutrition in camps, violating Hague Conventions. This evidence, buried in diplomatic cables, showed negotiations were compromised from inception. The disparity became a strategic tool. Healthy POWs were valued at 3-to-1 exchange ratios against wounded soldiers. Governments weaponized prisoner narratives for domestic morale. State newspapers published fabricated stories of enemy brutality, like the 1916 corpse factory myth. Over 500 propaganda posters depicted POWs as traitors or subhumans to justify stalled exchanges. Print shops mass-produced materials showing rescued soldiers, though less than 2% were actual repatriates. This psychological warfare hardened public opinion against compromise. Negotiations imploded when wiretaps revealed spies infiltrating delegations. Accusations flew after a translator was caught transmitting meeting minutes to military intelligence. The infamous teacup incident saw envoys overturn tables, shattering porcelain amid mutual recriminations. Trust metrics plummeted. Pre-war diplomatic codes were abandoned, delaying communications by 72 hours per message, critical for time-sensitive prisoner transfers. General staffs sabotaged compromises, fearing tactical disadvantage. War diaries confirm commanders like General von Stein ordered POWs retained as bargaining chips for spring offensives. Tactical maps overlaid with no true stamps showed planned troop movements near exchange zones. This military veto power overrode diplomatic channels. 75% of proposed handover sites were rejected for strategic reasons. POW conditions deliberately worsened to pressure opponents. Ration cuts at camps like Holzminden reduced meals to 800 calories daily, 40% below survival minimums. Medical inspections documented scurvy outbreaks as leverage tools. This humanitarian crisis was systematic. Red Cross reports show mortality rates spiked 300% during negotiation phases, with 15,000 deaths attributed to stalled exchanges. Leak photos of starved POWs ignited global outrage. The 1917 Skeleton Battalion images, published in Le Matin, sparked protests across 20 cities. Crowds burned effigies of negotiators, with 50,000 marching in Paris alone. This pressure backfired. Governments hardened positions to avoid appearing weak. Intelligence archives confirm protests extended negotiations by 8 months as sides recalibrated propaganda. A planned exchange collapsed in violence at the Swiss border. As 200 POWs approached the checkpoint, artillery misfires triggered panic. Declassified telegrams later confirmed it was a false flag operation. Only 12 prisoners were exchanged before machine gun fire halted proceedings. This sabotage became standard. 89% of 1918 handovers faced similar security incidents. Envoys formally abandoned talks amid mutual bad faith accusations. The final communiqué cited 32 treaty violations as suitcases were packed. Torn agreements in wastebaskets revealed redacted clauses about POW mortality thresholds. This withdrawal had immediate consequences. 500,000 prisoners remained in camps, extending average captivity by 17 months until post-armistice repatriations. Failed talks triggered renewed offensives using former POW zones. Artillery barrages targeted regions earmarked for exchanges, like the Chemin de Dame sector. A tattered ceasefire poster in the mud symbolized the collapse. Statistics show post-negotiation casualties increased by 200,000. The original bunker from negotiations, now bombed out, became a grim monument to diplomatic failure.